Hello and welcome to the Dead Air Dudes. I'm Izzy.
I'm Raka, and we are here to rock your world
Rock
with
your
a cap of Invincible. If not the best series streaming right now, real or animated.
now. Yeah, season three just concluded, and oh, what a season it was! Now
Oh,
we would have made this a little sooner, but I had to catch up. But yeah, if you have not seen it, if you have not caught up yet, you need to do so. Watch it because there'll be spoilers. There will be a test.
well, we have to hit the spoilers. All I can say is Kirkman, the obviously the Walking Dead creator, I believe has been given free reign to go balls to the wall, his creativity to translate onto an animated medium because he pulls no punches. I mean, it is layered, twisted, well thought out, and completely blows you away every episode.
Yeah, I mean,
It was kind of slow to go.
if you watch The Boys, and I guess it's probably the best comparison live action wise because of the things that happen on screen and the visceral nature, the gore and everything. And it just pales in comparison to what Invincible does and goes through. It is insane. And we're taking it from a perspective of the show because I have not watched I have not read the books. I know of the books. I know kind of what happens, but I don't know for sure. So this is, and that's kind of probably a better way of seeing it, not knowing what's going to happen. So then you really get that reaction, you
You
know?
have expectations. You're untouched.
Yeah.
You're just seeing it. And I got to say, I'm not too real versed on Kirkin's backstory. I know he's a comic book head, and I know he tried to get into it. He like tanked all his money to get his own creations done, and I applaud him for it because that's passion, that's dedication, that's commitment, and that is your mission in life. But it seems like he does take bits and pieces from every comic universe, DC, Marvel, everything. You can't tell me there isn't a huge influence of Batman.
Well, I mean,
It's a damaged goods drama story that permeates through everything, especially in this season where you have Cecil's backstory. You know, the season before that, you had what's his name, his assistant's backstory. You have more backstories and backstories of everybody Rex, this guy, that one, Eve, everything. And it's not so much dramatic effect because this is where I think the real pleasure of watching is there is a dramatic buildup,
right.
but it hits you so hard with events that shakes you from getting totally invested, enveloped into the storyline, into holy shit, what the hell just happened? And it turns everything on its head, and then you go into the cutscene like, oh, holy shit,
Dude,
I'm here.
all the stuff he liked, he enjoyed from Superman and Spider-Man and the X-Men and the Avengers and obviously Batman and put them all together, put it on the pot and made his own concoction. I mean,
And I gotta give him credit for where other superheroes, whether live action or animated series, fail. Is there's no overarching feel good, hug it out moment. The line that starts off season three runs through the whole thing. We can be either good guys or the guys that save the world. We cannot be both.
no, there's probably one moment that was, you know, touching and whatever. And I kind of at the beginning, I'm like, when I saw it, I'm like, really? But then I get it why she actually survives, and I'm like, I almost was like, I think it would have been better served if she would have, she would
But
have.
hit us with the first spoiler button and go. Tell us that moment, sir.
Well, when Conquest shows up, and fantastic job of voice acting by Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Was
Um,
wasn't that fantastic?
when you could just see him, he was hamming it up, you know,
He's
and
a sociopath on another level with, I mean, mass murder of planets.
and he just destroys and decimates Oliver and Invincible. So Adam Eve shows up to help, and he kills her. It just
Punches a hole through her gut.
yeah, and literally breaks her face, which is like holy shit. I'm like, wow, I was not expecting that. And she survives. She comes back.
All the while mocking her and him.
Yeah. And that I thought because after that, Invincible it flips out. Again, spoiler ends up.
Well, can I touch on that?
Again.
We have seen through this entire season, Mark put through more shit than anybody.
Well, yeah, that's what I would love to know, and maybe you guys who read the comic could let us know where exactly in the story is season three up to what issue, give or take, because I know it went over 100 issues, but I am curious to see like how far along are we?
Because as you get to the ending here, and the ending of every episode that Mark is involved in a massive fight, epic fight scenes.
Like
I
every episode,
Oh my god.
it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And what I love the fact that, and some of my favorite characters just get
Cute.
killed so easily, and it's like, really?
Well,
But
okay, I mean, get to the beginning of episode of season 3. Mark is being tested, trained, and they're measuring him, saying that he's like percentage wise 10,000 times to 1,000 times as strong, 10,000 times as fast. I mean, they're basically training him because they know Omni Man and other Viltrumites are coming, right? But it seems like to me, as you get through the whole season into the end, there's another gear deep downside in Mark. I don't know if it's something to unlock, if it's a adrenaline rush. It's like a Hulk feature, where he gets to such an angry, frustrated point that he turns up another dial of the sun and gets unseen power. And then I got another question for you.
I mean, there was a point where Conquest even says that's not how it works, kid, or something to the effect that you don't get stronger as you get,
A little dig at the Hulk thing, yeah.
but he kind of does.
He
But
does, is why maybe because he's a hybrid. That's one of my fan theories. Because he's not a pure Viltrumite. Maybe there's a hybrid part there.
another question, I mean, is how strong is Invincible in comparison to the pantheon of superheroes?
They measured Conquest to be stronger than Omni Man.
Yes.
And so if you go by that logic, Invincible beats Conquest. Invincible stronger than Omni Man.
So where's Alan the alien?
Alan might be even stronger because they merged his superhuman form already with Viltrumite DNA or something like that. And then I got this question for you. After seeing the ending,
Hmm.
do you think Adam Eve is stronger than both?
She should be. She should be.
He's freaking healed 100%. And he was in a coma for 3 days.
Kind of. I mean, and that's why I'm like, she should have died. But then I understand. But if they're gonna make her, she's like the Phoenix. I mean, she is. She can create anything. She is probably as powerful. And again, don't come at me in the comments. But she could be. She's a world creator. She can be as strong as Franklin Richards. I mean, the Beyonder. I mean, who knows at this point how powerful she is or how powerful she can
Right.
be.
But she unlocks those boundary things, and then she could touch organic matter and change them. Like, remember, I don't know if you go way back. I had to rewatch this. in her backstory episode, she was trying, as when she was first feeling out her powers, to change like a cat into something else, and she couldn't. And then to other people try to do it, he couldn't. She can only make inanimate objects and change the molecular structure of things, the air, whatever. But yeah, you pair them two together, because remember when they all appeared, the whoever's left of the Guardians, they all appeared and they see them. It's a freaking bloodbath and everything, and they're like, "Holy cow!" Them two together knocked out Conquest. And yes, I agree with you. It was a touching, heartbreaking moment, but they needed to show that to trigger Mark to another level where he used his head. Oh my God, did he use his head? he got mangled hands.
Bro,
He
I'm like,
his neck.
which which leads me to my next point. We must applaud the animators and the artists and for the animation of Invincible because it looks pretty damn good. And with the speed and the precision of the fight scenes and everything, it's very well done. I mean,
100%. It was visually enjoyable to watch on the screen. Like, wow. They had grand scale stuff. They had pinpoint focus stuff. They had close ups. They had pans. They captured facial expressions on people, both heartbreaking and mangled. I mean, crazy. How many things did they jam pack in this season? I mean, and they did it well. They didn't just like throw it all in there. I mean, I jotted down a few things. Oh my God. Oliver's maturing.
well, all right. You want to you want to just break down the season real quick? We want to just take it from the top and just break it
Well,
down.
some major highlights, because yeah, we can't go through a full recap. That would take us into an hour. But yeah, man, they start off with Mark training.
Mhm.
Then Oliver is basically growing every week like it's a year, and but they have to temper him, just like I guess when Mark started to get his powers. But he's like 10, and he's trying to find friends, and he's purple, and, and he's trying to be the bad guy. Let's stop with them there, and that ties with the ending. Is Oliver right or wrong?
In the grand scheme of things, all right, we spoke about this at length off the air as well as in episodes when we did our serial killer stuff. Is he wrong? Is it wrong? Isn't that's the big problem with Batman, right? That's a big problem
Because
that's the big problem with it. And it,
he won't kill anybody. This is what I'm saying. This Batman all over the place in this series.
if he killed the Joker would never have had never had killed, Rob, would never have freaking killed countless of other people. You put him in the ground, doesn't come back. Frank Castle told Matt many a time. You put him in the jail, put him in the morgue. That's it. And to a degree, Oliver has a point because if they're gonna come back, I mean, look at the Lizard Squad or whatever the hell they're called. How they went and they freaking just they, we'll come to find out that Rex and Violet and well, no, wasn't Violet. What's the name? The shrinking girl and Duplicate. They survived, but at that point, they killed everybody. You know what I mean? We thought that they actually killed, you know, a good percentage of the Guardians, and how easily, which to me, my favorite, just my favorite characters or character, the Mortals are great. I mean, I could, I could watch a whole show with them. Just cheap clones and more clones, and them just freaking just,
Yeah,
you know, they're dead now. I mean,
but that's the thing with Kirkman, man. He is not afraid, and I know
no, no, he's not. And then I'm like, wow. I mean,
Rex.
yes, actually, I actually ended up liking Rex and took him out.
That was heroic.
Yeah, but you know what? I wonder if it went like that in the comics
That's a good question.
because you know what that reminded me of, and
Yes,
Okay, it did have some effect because I just saw it in one of the best episodes I've ever seen in my life in X-Men '97. When what essentially Rex has if a very similar power set as well as Gambit, you
When they
know,
are,
except for exploding, it has its energy, whatever. But essentially, it's the same power.
he does take from everywhere in the universe of the superhero universe. He does take here and there. I mean, come on, immortal cannot die. The multi-person cannot do this. Rex, I mean, yes. What I do like with him, he goes where the other comic book lines are afraid to go. They go deep into real world stuff, relationships, personalities, parenthood, young people. Huge in this entire run is the effect on innocent bystanders.
Oh, of course,
Or,
dude.
I mean, oh my God,
What,
collateral damage
he has Rick and Mark by the face, and you can see him just shredding through people,
in the beach.
kids, dogs, everything, just bodies flailing, blood everywhere. It's
It is
fantastic.
the most gory, blood-filled series. I could that whole scene, that whole fight. I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, and up to the end, he's like, oh, and it just goes on and on and on and further, and you're like, oh my god,
That's what I love. He goes to the max, all out. Every episode this season was like almost it's the last. Like freaking bodies, bodies, bodies. Oh my God, gore, decapitation, blood everywhere.
how can we raise the stakes after this? And there's still, by my count, because Omni Man says there's less than 50 Viltrumites left.
I know I was doing a mental count too. There's like maybe 45.
There's like 45 left. And,
Maybe the two that came to the prison, the floating prison, they're gone. Conquest.
mm-hmm.
Um,
That's it.
wasn't there another one? Okay, all right. Well, Omni.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, wait, 46. But Mark is stronger now. Let's get to the other big twist here. Another character I loved how he created, and it was insane. The Angstrom. And,
Oh, Angstrom Lee, yeah, Angstrom. Angstrom was
and those scary whatever mutant doctors or whatever in another dimension and what they're going to do him, whatever. I mean, again, there's so much here.
what,
Jan-
and now the devil's involved or some shit. I mean,
oh, we get to the spoiler alerts of the cutscenes. The devil's alerted. There's a Martian invasion in the underground of big cities. I don't know where to go. The Battle Beast.
Bat
It,
Battle
it,
Beast is great. Battle Beast, which could be sidebar. Battle Beast is having Kirkman's coming back to comics, and there's gonna be a Battle Beast series. So no,
oh,
comic Battle Beast comic with Ryan Otley and Kirkman. So I mean,
Battle Beast is like Conquest. He lives for battle. You are useless to him if you don't fight on his level. He's salivating, getting all excited
I
when Viltrum, I get to kill Viltrumites. Like holy shit, man!
if I die today, then it will be glorious or whatever the hell he said.
And Alan is like comic relief. That guy is
I love the fact that freaking that all right, Battle Beast is voiced by Michael Dorn, who obviously,
Worf.
the voice war, and it's essentially that's who he is, you know.
This is why I hate to use the word, but in the comic book world, and I guess in geekdom, this whole run in season 3 has been orgasmic.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have packed more twisted events, situations, and death-defying stuff. Not to mention, how many people on Earth are left?
Dude, I mean, when he said when they killed off that half of New York is gone, Tokyo, um,
18 Invincibles, 18 marks from different dimensions descended on the planet.
there were only what, like 8 left. I think 8 or
And
something.
what twist that ended up being. I'll give only one spoiler that was in the comic book, and I'm not sure if they're going to do it here.
But
They turn on each other. In
well, you could kind of see that already because there was one that was kind of that he wanted to see his mom, whatever. He was kind of leaning towards good. Well, yeah, the other one with the other ones were.
the burnt body, you have the one with the mohawk. It's like, holy cow. Again, where does he come up with this? Holy cow.
Well, it's simple, and then I mean, I'm not saying it's simple, but imagine as much as I love Marvel and DC, and to a lesser extent, other indie, especially more when this is the big two. The big two, you're stuck in continuity in which you know that Superman will never die, and if he is, he'll be back very, very soon. Batman, same thing, was lost in time, came back. Captain America, another one, lost in time, came back. I mean, it's a running joke. There's only two people whom Uncle Ben has never come back. Even Gwen Stacy has come back. Phoenix has come back many times. Uncle Ben and Captain Marvel are the only two Marvel characters that have stayed dead for so many years. So you're stuck within. You can write stories and you can create stories about these characters, but you cannot do the extreme. So Kirkman made his own. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna make my own toys and I'm gonna play with my own toys."
And but on a personal level, between you and I, who've been trying to write comic books for the last 30 years,
It's so refreshing for him. It's great.
but he has done what we've been trying to do, and I guess we overthink it.
Yeah,
You take already existing storylines, superpowers, and whatnot, and you just twist it in a way. It's a little different, making it your own, making it interesting, making it far, making it successful as far as entertaining people, than the same old, same old. Which again, this is not a Marvel bashing, but they're kind of doing the same old, same old.
of course. No, no. I mean, I'm getting to the point that now this is what my third, fourth decade collecting comics on and off, and it's a recycle situation of storylines. It's the same thing over and over again, different little things here and there, but
But that's why sometimes I don't know, I'm not speaking for you, but sometimes people gravitate towards the indie market.
oh
And
no, I'm more about the indies than I am. I'm a collecting. I collect more indies as far as monthly slash weekly books, and I collect older stuff. I go back to the past to collect older stories. But as far as of the big two, what do I collect? I mean, not to go on a tangent, but of the big books, Wonder Woman, Batman, X-Men, Spider-Man. That's pretty much it from the big two. And you sprinkle in there whatever, obviously the whole Ultimate series, which you guys have to read it. The Ultimate Spider-Man is probably one of the best things out there right now. Why? It's different. It takes
that,
the different perspective of Peter Parker. From
that's kind of why I personally uh really like anime too, because they go very dark, and
course.
they go into really deep darkness that maybe some of the big boys are afraid to go because it will shun a couple of the mainstream.
You can. I mean, it's the fear of killing the cow, of killing the cash cow.
I know, which sucks because you're sacrificing fresh, imaginary creativity with the cash stream.
Yeah. So what ends up happening, like right now, the all in event or the all-in thing from DC, you have absolute Superman, absolute Spider-Man, absolute Wonder Woman that are set in a different timeline, a different universe, and it's completely different. Wonder Woman was raised in hell and she's a witch. And she was raised by Cersei, I do believe her name is, and awesome. Absolute Batman, he's not rich. His mother's alive. His father's dead. It's a complete, and his best friends are all the criminals. And looks like the Joker, who hasn't even shown up yet in 6 issues, which is fantastic. Absolute Superman. Another one that is completely freaking different. That different power set. Awesome stuff. But back to what we're talking about in Kirkman, he was given the keys to his own kingdom, and that's what makes it easy that he can freaking do and say and kill off whomever he wants.
Yeah, and he goes with his parameters. This person has certain superpowers, but he goes and takes that superpower lineage to a level because it's with that superpower. Like people sometimes writers and everybody they go into this box of what would humans do. They're not humans.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so yes, there's different avenues, options, decisions they make because they're not. And that's the whole point. And that's the entertaining value of it all. That to me is one of the successes. There's a lot of reasons too why Guardians of the Galaxy took off. They went with a tree that can do different things and can save them and I am Groot. I am Groot. They also went, I like Gunn in the sense that he goes deep, like Peacemaker and everything else. He goes deep into the dark side.
Bottom line is the big two or the companies in general need to have faith that the fan or fans in general will have they can understand the concept of moving on and things changing. We don't need to be spoon fed, the same, stuff over and over and over again.
I mean, all right. So let's touch on a couple of last tidbits here. I really like the again another offshoot of his Walking Dead thing. The doctor, what the hell's his name? Damn, I wrote it down here. Sinclair.
Sinclair, yeah.
And the reanimated robots from dead corpses that he's made an army of. Because they've saved Mark a couple times. They're a brilliant idea, twisted as it is. Because what the whole backstory of we call it giving a second chance, rehabilitation, and reuse. And everybody's pissed off that Sinclair's still alive, and he's allowed to do his Frankenstein work and all this crap. And now they took the
Invincible.
dead marks, the dead Invincibles, and they're retrofitting them. Oh my god! So this will lead into our next and last segment of this episode is do some speculation, brother. Go for it, and let's start off with where that's going to go, and we'll get to the big question. But where's that going to go? Because they've been sick.
That's gonna freaking dude.
Remember the prophetic words? He said they could be gods.
Yeah, I mean, imagine you have an invincible who feels no pain, who who's augmented and has no capacity to feel pain and no capacity to think that they just do. So they don't care. They're essentially mindless robots, just for a purpose. I mean, imagine that. That's crazy.
Be nuts. Or where do you think this
Now,
goes with the
if you have 45 Ultramites coming to attack, I mean, you're gonna need them.
well, it's a good line of defense. I cannot wait when that happens. Oh my god. Any word on how many seasons you think this is going to be?
No, I have not heard. I have.
Because
I mean,
what's left to do? Okay, no, there is left to do. The Martian invasion, the body snatchers, whatever you want to call them. They're going to obviously rear their head. Mark and Cecil are on. They left on not so bad terms. He's still not back. There's a fragmented, severely reduced Guardians. He asked him to be the leader. He doesn't want to. Where does that go? Because what's his name? Immortal and Kate are like, I'm done losing my head. Literally, I'm going to start a family. We're going to move off into the woods.
wait a second. How the hell is Immortal alive? And just as I said that to myself, Mark explained it. He was like, you know what? Separate the bodies, because if not, he'll come back. And I'm like, nah, it makes sense now. I mean,
No, so he he's gone. Rex is dead. I forget the other girl's name, but she moved into the city. She's trying to be living a normal life.
Yeah.
And they're in shambles. Um, who's guarding the world? Alan and Omni Man's got to be. They're together now, but where they go from here?
Now, let me know. This is one thing, I guess, which would be the only negative part, or I don't like. Well, besides the Adam Eve thing, but I'm over that. Omni Man. I don't know if I'm not buying it that he's reformed or good now, or I don't think he should be forgiven. What he did is unforgivable. I mean, fuck you, dude. I mean,
Well, I got a question for you.
you're a piece of shit. I don't
That was the only thing that felt out of place. His sudden, what was that line? I think I miss my wife. I don't buy it either, and it just doesn't seem like it made sense. Everything's getting through. I know he's going to die, he's going to be executed, but if Viltrumite's one of those people that's ingrained in their society, I'm going to accept my fate.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it doesn't feel. I think it's probably legitimate, obviously, but because you wouldn't go through all that trouble of breaking out and this and that and whatever. But he was so adamant, and that speech was so over the top in season one when he's talking to Mark and
Don't
he's
kill them.
bloodshot eyes and how he's screaming at him and when he said that his wife was a pet and that they're all gonna die and now all of a sudden he has a change of heart.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the only thing I could feel is that he went to the insect world. Sorry, I forgot their name, and spawned with them. So he has like another kid, and it's kind of like he's now violated protocol twice about unsanctioned spawn hybrids, and you know. Then he defended the whole world against the Viltrumite. Oh, he avenged the Viltrumite, the other guy there. He did kill one there. When they went to attack the insect world.
No, they killed two more.
They did too. So my count is at 44.
Yeah, the one which the girl with the ponytail, then the other guy where he had his guts, he
Yeah,
survived, and then
the
he died.
cave.
Yeah.
So, and why would he tell Alan? There's only 50 of us.
Well, he said around 50. He didn't spell, I mean,
Yeah, but it's still, why would he say any of that stuff? I think he's genuine. It's just the one that's not as convincing. Like it just happened to flip of a switch. No, I miss my wife, dude. You called her a pet, you left her for dead, like you said, and all this other crap. We got to see that one play out. But he doesn't have that much airtime anyway in this whole season three. It was cool because remember, like the whole narrator thing was like, meanwhile, back in the floating prison, and then they go.
all right. Again, no, but whatever it is, I just had to Google this real quick. According to Kirkman, he hopes there will be 11 seasons or more. Again, if is that true or not, I don't know. According to radiotimes.com, all we know is that it was renewed for season 4 on July 26th of 24. It was renewed for season 4. So, we all know that
Dude, my only question is, he's running this 11 season marathon like it's a sprint.
so we're talking about, all right, here's another one from Yahoo. Invincible can be at least 8 to 10 seasons in total, meaning fans can expect around 5 to 7 more seasons after season 3. This is from February 14th of 2025, according to Yahoo. So yeah, so dude, it's got to be around probably I'd say issue in the 30s or the 40s maybe. It should be around. I
Yeah,
mean,
probably. Oh, the big question of the day, which is not really huge leap of speculation. It's clearly a mistake to keep him alive, right?
yes. Yes, clearly a
Did
mistake to.
you not just see what he did to this planet?
Did you not see what Angstrom Levy did when he was left alive? And I'd say I mean, he was lucky.
Talking about season. Season 4, you got Angstrom with a new lease on life and new anger. You got whoever's left in Invincible domain in another dimension. You got the Martian invasion in the underground. You got Powerplex, who's still pissed off, even more so that he's enraged.
Believe it or not, I guess that was maybe the least one the least storyline I wasn't a big fan of.
It was kind of redundant.
Yeah, I mean exactly. I was kind of I mean, I
But
get
there was one facet of that that was really messed up, was that he was actually moved in a total reversal of what Stream Like Chalk has been in storylines. His wife and new baby, she motivated him to go this dark.
yes, that
As
is
opposed to saying, think of the family and the baby and our new thing. She was like, go get him, honey. Power up. Holy cow.
and the barbecue chicken.
Holy that was a little. Holy God. Holy cow. Fucking Ashfall where she was. Holy cow. The outline. Holy
Crazy.
cow.
I mean,
All right, you got him. So that's 4. Then you got obviously Conquest. Then you got the other Viltrumites. You got Alan, and then you got whoever else they're going to spawn as another evil. You got Doctor Kevorkian,
yeah,
Frankenstein,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You have the demon, the devil. You have
and the devil. I mean, that's 10.
the what's his face the crime lord the
Oh,
dragon guy
the dragon with that the whole.
he survived. I mean, obviously, who and Invincible couldn't really beat him. So I mean, it wasn't like he was gonna get chomped up, he's gonna get eaten. So,
That the magical aspect of Asgard influence.
dude, I mean, there's everything. That's what makes the show great. You have kaiju monsters, you have aliens.
The kitchen sink,
You have now you have demonic entities now playing.
zombies.
At street level. I mean, and how many heroes are left? A bunch of them got killed.
How many heroes are left and how many humans are left? The planet's got to be down a billion.
Dude, I mean, they were saying they said hundreds of thousands of people died. Okay.
You got the fight alone with Conquest
They're expecting more.
is a couple of mil right there.
I mean, and you also got to see what's the blowback on Invincible now going to be in the next season.
Exactly. The people of Earth.
Has to be I mean, I'm surprised that the government there hasn't been a which maybe they'll do next season. I don't know, or for coming up. Like, what would be the blow? Because I mean, they've actually done this in freaking in Avengers. It was a huge after the whole the big war in Avengers from the first big war.
Oh, the Civil War.
There was a huge blowback, against the Avenger Initiative.
Which brings me to the same analogous question with what's his name? Cecil's got to answer to somebody. We haven't seen that person yet.
Oh, we haven't seen that person. This is Pentagon. I'm assuming probably answers just straight to the president or whomever. I guess the Minister of Defense or something. I don't even know. You know,
Somebody's. What the hell is going on?
I mean, you're destroying half the world. I mean, this is like freaking like Dragon Ball Z levels of destruction and fighting. It's
Oh, okay. Oh, and then of course, Darkwing. That was a great.
well, I mean,
As Side did there, he goes into his dark dimension. Another rehabilitated.
of course. See, I mean, kind of also wink, wink, nudge, nudge, knock on Batman. What was like that? He actually kills people. So I mean, so a little fun question here. Okay, fun question, geek talk here. Invincible, stronger than Homelander? Yes or no?
Some different powers. He doesn't have the eye beams.
Okay, but I mean, he has flight.
Um, but it's hard to say. I don't know if I can say yes or no. Right now, I would say even par, but there's a problem. you've already seen this, and anybody who's not up to speed with the boys, Homelander is aging.
Yes, but you haven't seen any feat that Homelander's done to the level of Invincible.
Yeah, well, because he hasn't really been unleashed.
I mean, has Homelander even lifted a car? I mean,
Dude, I think, I mean, I'm pretty sure he could take out a building.
is so then you go, is Invincible stronger than Superman?
I would have to say right now, no.
So Superman is still stronger than
You know what? Yeah. I mean, I don't know which canon you're gonna go with, the comic books, with movies, whatever. But
Well, I mean,
faster than the speed of light. Uh,
Superman, you can go with the comics and or movies. He's pretty similar. In Marvel, you would have to change it because it's different. It's not the same. Like Thor in the MCU and the comics, too different. They're completely different. I mean, the movie pale in comparison to the comic.
because, like you said, on one hand, Invisible can run through a building, carry a whole cruise liner ship, but at the same time, that dragon monster nearly beat the shit out of him, nearly killed him.
Yeah,
So I don't know. It's like, and I get it. They're metering him because they can't make him god level like that yet. Otherwise, then what's the point? Because
I think Invincible is probably what, 20 years old?
yeah, and because he's been through all this stuff already, he is recovering and getting stronger every time.
Conquest is what? I mean, obviously he's hundreds of years old, but I mean, in comparison to, let's say, a human, he's what? Maybe in his 70s, maybe Conquest?
But tit for tat, Mark has broken bones, femur, head split open. He's been in cast. He's been in comas. I've never seen that from Superman other than Kryptonite.
Yes.
So there's that where it's like he's not even had a cold.
Do you know if Mark has a healing factor, meaning a more advanced healing factor than, let's say, us humans? Probably.
Probably. Look, he's been out of a coma from that huge fight, and he was yes, he had the cast and stuff, but he was moving around.
He
So,
was what? He said, "Oh, how long was out?" He goes 3 days. She said 3 days, right? She said,
yeah, he was up for 3 days. Which, if Eve really disables those blockers, she could heal him up in like a blink of an eye.
probably.
So I think they're trending towards that point where he can be on a Superman level point. Because when you get those Viltrumites that are coming, Conquest was almost like on that level. But he bled, broke his nose, and obviously with his face smashed in.
That's the thing. They bleed and they freaking, but it's only for
By the hands of another super.
comparable, someone comparable, you know, like Alan, original Alan, powerful, but yet nothing compared to super duper Alan now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because prior to that, three Viltrumites nearly ripped him to shreds.
Well, he did.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy how they put him.
Poked his eye. They, they, he said, I saw my eyeball. I saw my body. And I mean, just one last thing. The voice acting is quality and top notch. Obviously, Kirkman got just about all of his buddies from Walking Dead to to be in it.
But not only that, he put them all in proper place. He knew where each one was. This was made for you. This was made for your voice. This was made for your acting ability. You know this character. Bring him, her to life. Kick ass.
I mean, Steve Young, Woman, Lauren Cohan, Darkwing, Lenny James, Morgan, Martian Man, Tyrese plays Martian Man, Ross Marquand plays a lot of voices actually. He does a lot of characters. Aaron, we did Immortal. Michael Cudlitz did Red Rush. Green Ghost is Sasha. Black Samson, Carrie Payton, King Ezekiel. So All in all, I know we didn't really talk too much about, except for a couple of spoilers about season three, but definitely want to watch. Let us know what you guys think. And yeah, it was awesome. Can't give it nines all around. And I don't give it a 10 because I haven't given anything a 10. But
Yeah, it's epic. Giving it a 9 is basically giving it a 10.
I mean it's superlative, you know what I mean? From the voice acting to the animation to the storyline, so good. So good.
So epically good. I'm hoping they don't make us wait too long, and maybe around the same time next year we get to see season 4.
I don't remember because I was behind two seasons. Did they just was it only a season of waiting or I don't
Well,
I'm
like part season 2 or 3, whichever you want to call it. It was like 4 episodes and then a huge break.
yeah.
And then you waited forever to almost point like, oh, they're back on. Let's. So I don't know if it's logistics for marketing. I don't know if it was a writer issue, a strike, funding, approval, redrafts, edits. I don't know what. All I know is that was just odd. You know, I the boys does a similar thing, right? And then some
No,
show
they just did that to freaking to kind of make people, like kind of like
availability because they do have a huge cast of people that may be tied up.
yeah, but see, but the major
The first thing you can make it there, you could finish your first show and then make it and you can do it remotely and just edit, plug in where it needs to.
the big thing is the animation and getting all that done. That's what probably takes the most time. The actual voice acting, I mean, they could probably knock that out in a couple hours, you know what I mean? And then just, doing everything, all the CGI you have to do afterwards and the editing and this, that, and the other thing. That's what probably takes the most time out of anything. So yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll be back probably it won't be back this year.
No,
So
that's what I'm hoping next year,
probably talking,
spring.
yeah, around this time, probably 2026.
I'm good with that if that's the case. Because if you come with the same quality, I'll wait. I'll wait. It's fine. I don't want to wait too long, but I'll wait.
That's
Like rumor
can't
has it, Stranger Things is going to come.
yeah. By the time it shows up, would anyone care? I mean,
I think the cast is collecting Social Security at that point.
I was actually gonna have we're gonna do a pod on that, but it's like, why bother? Will anyone care?
We would have to spend the first hour recapping the other last seasons.
Dude, I have to rewatch the whole freaking thing. I mean, it's kind of like, give me an example. Something you's been gone for well, almost 2 years, and I care more about that than I care about freaking Stranger Things.
Which, yes, you is coming soon.
Yeah, I think the next month, I think a couple weeks actually should be out.
Well, anyway, guys, we have a lot also in store. As soon as the respective seasons wrap up, we're going to touch base on many, 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 many good shows. Severance, Reacher, Yellow Jackets, to name a few. And some of them we're going to celebrate and talk about. Sometimes we'll just burn them. The other big thing, which we're going to do recap, maybe a halfway one, and then towards the end, which has been fantastic so far, is Daredevil Reborn. It's been great. This last episode, I think 4 was a bit of a slower paced one, but a lot of build up, a lot of speculation to come with where they go with that.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know what you guys think about this season and comment anything or as far as the comics are concerned. I would love to see how close the show is with the comics. And one last question: can Invincible be done live action?
Ooh, that's a good question. The CGI might be cringy because you're gonna have to do some ultra all world destruction.
I don't think it could be done. I think it's
Like
best
would
done
take,
in anime.
it would be on another level. It would look bad. I think it would look like freaking the last Quantumania.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cringy. It would be. I mean, it's just too much. It would be a CGI fest, and it wouldn't be.
There's some things you leave alone to the animated world, man. You just that's gonna be a budget like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, well, I mean, be crazy.
Dare to dream.
All right, guys. I'm Izzy.
I'm Rocka. Stay classy, everybody. Thank you for your participation, your views, downloads, and everything. Remember, always, always save the world, and you too may possibly be invincible.
Take care, everyone.